Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Leaf Heart Path. My name is Andrea Graham. I am an intuitive healer, a Reiki and cord cutting practitioner, and a tarot card reader. If you're interested in a personal reading or other session, you can book with me through the link in the description box below. Today's timeless reading features a message that is meant to come forward to you at this particular time. I'm shooting this introductory video first, so what comes through is going to be a surprise to both me and to you. As with all general messages on this channel, what comes through is shared with love and the highest vibration, so take what resonates and leave the messages that do not for others who need them on their journeys. Before we get into the group selection, please take a moment to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new video releases. Much love and gratitude to you all. Let's get into checking out our groups below. Today we have 3 groups we're working with, and group 1 is marked here with this Bumblebee Jasper. And you are going to be working with the Wild Unknown Tarot today. Group 2, your pile is marked with Hematite, and your tarot deck today is going to be the Darkwood Tarot. Group 3 is marked with this clear quartz crystal, and your tarot deck today is going to be the Ostara Tarot. So take a moment, take a deep breath, center yourself, and see which group or crystal you are the most drawn to. Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. You can have messages in more than one pile. I recommend checking out the group that has the most resonance for you and then going from there. Because these are mystery messages, you may have a large message in one group and then some smaller messages in the other groups, depending on how things go. Timestamps and chapters are listed in the description box in the video bar below. All decks used are listed in the description box as well. Much love to you, my friends. I will see you over in your video. Hello, Group 1. If you picked this Bumblebee Jasper, then welcome to your mystery message video reading. We are going to get right into your reading today. The tarot deck we're working with is the Wild Unknown, and your first card, your heart card, for this particular reading today is the Justice card. So justice is all about duality, it's about healing, it's about unification. It's about shadow and light. It's about wrongs coming to right, secrets surfacing, resurfacing. Things are people being unmasked, and it ultimately sheds light on truth. Things moving into or being restored to a place of balance, a place of homeostasis. This is the search for truth. This is a reminder that if you're approaching a situation outside of yourself from a state of balance, it better allows for justice to be meted out and served. So as you're approaching this, you want to enter into communication or whatever this connection is. It's probably a very specific situation for you if you're here from a place where you've already done your internal work, because the more neutral you can be about it, the more in balance and regulated things will be, the more these kitty cats can get to work for you. And actually, as I'm looking at this, you know what this card reminds me of? The book and the movie, The Never-Ending Story. When Atreyu needs to get to the Southern Oracle, he has to pass through the Sphinx's gate. And this card is giving me very strong vibes like this part of the movie. The diamond here and the sword of justice that are pictured right here. Clear communication. It lies behind these 2 guardians who very clearly have their eyes on you, Group 1. In the movie, Atreyu approaches the Sphinxes as this young boy who needs to pass between these hundreds of feet tall, ancient and imposing statues in the middle of a desert, nighttime, and the wind is blowing. And at their feet, the sand is just littered with the bones of men who have tried and failed to pass beneath them. And as Atreyu gets closer, he spies this knight. And as I recall, maybe he saw the knight go through at first. It's a man in a full suit of armor who winds up killed by these guardian sphinxes. So we have all these bones. We have these grown adults who have all perished in getting to the truth, to the Southern Oracle, because they didn't believe in themselves. They didn't feel themselves worthy enough to pass through. And the sphinxes sense that. They open their ancient eyes and they kill them instantly. And Atreyu begins to falter. as he sees the bodies and the bones of these full-grown men who all died before him, and he's only a child, and he begins to doubt himself. The moment he makes room for doubt in his heart, the Sphinxes begin to open their eyes. Now, thankfully, he musters up enough courage to run, and he survives the blast and makes it to the Southern Oracle and to the truth. And this card is making me feel this. It's like you're standing in Atreyu's shoes, group 1. There's something that you're trying to get to the heart of, whether that has to do with someone outside of yourself, a situation outside of yourself, or whether it's something to do within you. And your guides want you to approach the truth from a clear state of mind, to let go of doubt and worry and fear and self-judgment. What caught the Sphinx's attention was the moment Atreyu began to judge himself, the moment he lowered his own worth by comparing himself to others who may have had more life experience, more wealth or privilege, more training, more anything. He is the one who activated the Sphinxes in their lethal gaze. So your guides want you to stop. Do not enter into this dangerous territory, because the instant that you allow comparison into yourself, you will lose your footing and your confidence. This is a poisonous weed that you don't want to allow to take root in your heart space. This may be a call to do a little shadow work, or to dig into the idea of confidence and what that means to you, to try and shift and let some light into the areas of your heart that need that sunshine and they need that exposure. And if that doesn't resonate for you, this can also be a call to approach any kind of connection or communication where you feel an imbalance or lack of power, where you feel justice needs to be served. And remember to try to be as impartial and as balanced as possible ahead of this moment, because this is going to serve you in the long run, group 1. And have faith that things will come to light in their timeline. This is a call to be as clear as possible, and to do that inner work in whatever capacity strikes you as appropriate, so that you are mirroring your inner clarity, your strength, your confidence, which will allow your truth to be communicated more clearly. All right, let's pull a couple more cards. We have got also the 8 of Cups. And Strength. All right, so 2 major arcanas here. That's pretty big, 2 out of 3. Okay. Yeah, so to me, the 8 of Cups is indicating the choice of moving on from things that no longer serve you. Some of you already moved on from the situation, whatever this is, and it's in the rearview mirror, but there are still some ties to whatever is happening. If this Justice card is in reference to a person or persons outside of you, this was likely something that you were invested in, or it hurt. If this Justice situation is about healing aspects of yourself, this is indicating there's still some work to do, whether you're at the base of the mountain or you're closer to the top. Cups represent emotion in tarot, and there is some sorrow here, or there's an idea of broken dreams for some of you. You may have already walked away from these cups, as we were saying, and up the mountain path of healing, or you might be in the process of this somewhere. Or this is something that you know is in the works for you. Your guides are letting you know it's safe to let go and to do the healing work here. They are supporting you no matter how imposing that mountain is. You know, if we think of that movie, The Neverending Story, the book, Atreyu was scared in his task, and he was filled with sorrow at other points along his journey. He really did experience so many highs and so many lows, but he pushed forward to save his world through that anyway. And that's where strength comes in. We always see this and think of, you know, beauty taming the beast. That's a pretty typical kind of card or imagery. In this instance, perhaps the beauty and the beast are one and the same. This could be about you offering yourself compassion, grace, and loving kindness on your journey of healing. And you notice the sun that we have here above the lion's head. This is about transparency. It's about being very clear in your goals, what it is that you want to heal, what it is you want to achieve, and going forward with that. Being transparent about it with others, if this is something you're sharing. Writing it down, making it a goal, making it visible to you, perhaps putting it up somewhere so that you see it. And perhaps it has something to do with self-confidence. It may have to do with not comparing yourself to others, as we kind of talked about earlier. Or creating self-love. You will know what your goal is, whoever you are watching this. Your guides want you to be clear about it and to go for it, because the end result for you is just going to help you get closer to this balance that the Justice card speaks of. You will be closer to reaching other goals outside of yourself when you work on what is going on the inside. Okay, we have some animal spirit cards from the Wild Unknown. And we have Octopus. The Octopus card talks about boundaries. If that's something you feel you need to work on a little bit, then it's okay to pull in some of your energy and to focus on yourself right now, especially for my friends who identify as empaths. There's always this unconscious tendency to reach out with your own energy and see what's going on within others. It makes us all very tender-hearted softies and very kind, but this kind of energy seeking, if it's happening all the time, you can wind up tired because of it, burned out, and also losing a sense of identity a little bit if you become too fixated on what's happening outside of you. And, in our story, this was Atreus' issue at his peak moment. He needed the courage of the lion, the strength and the groundedness of the mountain to make it through to the truth. And it wasn't time for him to send out the octopus feelers and see what's going on with everyone, the bones of the men that are already gone and part of the past, worrying about others who aren't with him or are not related to his quest. He already had information going into the task about what he needed to do and how dangerous this was. It wasn't a time for him to get distracted. It made things a little more dangerous. It made things a little harder as he was sending that energy outward. So this card appearing is a gentle reminder to pull your energy in and to cradle yourself within it tenderly while you're processing and healing before you make any kinds of next steps. It's like this little rainbow we see up here at the crown. That's your energy, and you want to pull that into yourself. Okay, and we also have, oh my gosh, the Phoenix. This could not be more perfect. This is one of the spirit cards from the deck. This is really interesting because the wings of the Sphinx Gate statues in the Southern Oracle and the Never-Ending Story mirror this almost exactly. You have one statue here and one here, and Atreus had to pass through the middle. And our cats are kind of in a similar position there. So that is very interesting. This is a reminder that while you are like Atreus on this quest, having experienced many hardships and obstacles, you are also the sphinxes of the gate, judging your own heart. Any judgment that comes from others may stem firstly from how you judge yourself. That judgment is reflected outward in ways that we can't always see. We talked about how when we compare ourselves, we inevitably will end up wanting, and to allow that seed of lack and divide into our heart space creates a poison bloom that can take a lot of weeding to remove from our gardens. And finally, you are also like the Southern Oracle. Deep down, you are likely knowing the truth to whatever situation it is that you're facing, but there just needs to be a bit of clarity before arriving to that point of balance that the Justice card promises. The Phoenix is also showing what you can accomplish. This is a beautiful hint of things to come, the ending of one cycle and your rebirth into the next phase of who you are. This is freedom from suffering, and it shows how you can fly high above where you've been. You are no longer climbing the mountain, but you're above the peak. And this is freedom from your past. It's letting go. It's not burning bridges, because the Justice card already spoke to the need for balance here. We're not destroying what's happened to us, but we're transforming ourselves beyond where we are, beyond the situation. And this is you living consciously. You're moving forward with a purpose, and you're not being run by unconscious scripts or fears. And what you're burning is your baggage of the past. It's too heavy to keep carrying. It's these cups we've left here. Laying those burdens down, letting them transform to ash as you sprout your wings, you spread your wings, and you fly high. You fly high with clarity and purpose. You will begin to see yourself in a whole new light, Group 1, the light of your soul, the light of your being. You're meant to be something beautiful. You're meant to be something bright. And you can reach your goal should you decide to go forward with it. All right. And advice going forward from the illustrated Beastiary. I want to thank my friend Steph and member of our Facebook group, The Leaf Heart Path, for this absolutely beautiful deck that we have here. And our cards are Get Out. Oh my gosh. Love Fiercely. The Whooper Swan. Again, look at these wings. This is absolutely incredible. And we also have, yes, Align Your Inner Compass, Common Raven. Interesting. So another bird as well. All right. Bird is the word, group 1. So again, we have this mirroring of wings. I cannot get over this, what's happening here. Reminding me again of that Sphinx gate, and look at the moon behind. It's just like the Justice card with a diamond, or it's like Atreyu seeking the Southern Oracle in the distance. You're the one holding the key here. You're the one who can decide to move forward or not. You're the one who needs to love themselves fiercely in order to move on. So don't allow toxic emotions in, and release them through dedicated practice in a way that is healthy and feels right to you. You know, whether that's meditation, visualization, journaling, therapy, talking with friends, getting creative, living mindfully. There are so many choices out there for you. You know, and the Common Raven is nudging you to align your inner compass before making any big outer decisions. The same message we've been getting this whole time. Because once your inner compass is aligned, you will have a more clear line into your heart, into your truth, into your wants, into your needs, and you can stride forward into the world with clarity and balance and purpose towards your truth. Things are looking very bright for you, group 1. Also, you may want to keep an eye out for feathers, birds, or maybe even cats, right? Or for some of you, octopus. And the cats could be big or little, as we have quite a theme going on right here, especially with the birds and the cats. So these could be messages of confirmation for you, or just a little note like you're on the right track. And I didn't even think of this, but when I was grabbing things just to lay down, I have this bird owl feather that's right here. So feathers may be a thing for you. Finally, maybe go watch or read The Neverending Story if you haven't recently, because there may be more messages for you there, or you may just like the story. So group 1, that is what is coming forward for you today. I appreciate you being here with me, and I am sending you a big love and, as always, gratitude for being here with us. If you're claiming this message and you're willing to share, go ahead and give us a sword emoji or perhaps a feather to represent your clarity, your wisdom, your truth, and to let fellow Group 1 members know that you're part of the Group 1 crew. And if you enjoyed this video or felt it was beneficial, please like and share with friends or family who may similarly enjoy it. This helps the channel out like you wouldn't believe, and helps guide me toward creating more content that you enjoy. If you're someone who's stuck around to the end of the video, I love it. Thank you, take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, my friends. Hello, Group 2. If you picked this hematite, then welcome to your mystery message reading. And we are going to be working with the Darkwood Tarot today for your reading. Also, side note, you did get a few more cards than the other group, the first group that I shot, so don't tell them. Okay, we're going to start with one card just to kind of get to the heart of the reading. And your card is the 3 of Swords, and it's in reverse. I'm just testing it there. But that does feel like it's an important part of the message. So we're going to sit with this for a moment. So what this is feeling like to me, group 2, is heartbreak but crystallized. And the word suspension is coming to mind, being stuck in a web of heartbreak or unsatisfying relationships. And I'm going to turn this around so you can see it. Just momentarily, we have a heart here that's pierced by the 3 swords, and we actually have a large spider, and this looks like a spider web that this is all kind of stuck into. And that imagery does feel important. This is a feeling of not being able to heal or move on from whatever this is. This feels stale and stagnant, not from the present, but of the past. It's an old wound we're talking about that doesn't feel like it's entirely processed, but it needs to be let go of in order to move forward. This may have been a third party, but it almost feels more like you're the odd one out, being duped or not realizing the extent of someone's feelings for somebody else. It's as though Maybe you're young and there's somebody you're talking to, but you don't realize like they've already been with somebody for a long time. Or they're just maybe being nice. Maybe they like the attention, so they're not saying that there is somebody else that's there with them, but suddenly there's somebody there, and it's like you're standing there watching this, shocked. If this is a love situation, and likely it is if you're here, this has a feeling of unrequited love, and it reminds me of Marianne Dashwood from Jane Austen's novel Sense and Sensibility, as John Willoughby jolts her for what's her name? Miss Grey, Sophia Grey. She becomes ill, Marianne does, as though her broken heart's absolutely killing her. And it feels like you have the same energy of freshness that Marianne possesses for life, living from a place of pure openness, emotion, feeling, romance, purity, fantasy. It's like you're in love with the idea of being in love, but reality just did not line up for you with whatever this situation was. Like you're going into this so wholesome and just so open, and you have these ideas and they're just not in alignment with what reality is. And it feels like you're stuck waiting for this person, waiting for a word, waiting for a look, waiting for attention. It feels like you're perpetually stuck in this web, repeating this pattern over and over and over again until you have cleared to process this blockage. It feels old to me. It's something from your past. Now, you may resonate actually with this energy currently because it's popping up again for you. But whatever this situation is, this is heartbreak that's behind you. And the way I can tell is, and this will be for the majority of the people who are here, it's like when I try to interact with a heart. If I'm visualizing this in my mind, and I try to touch it, the whole thing wants to disintegrate. There is nothing fresh about this. And for some of you, it may feel like a milestone that has deep roots, or it's very cemented in the past. It's something that sticks out to you. This is something that is ready to move out of your energy field and to be healed. It's crumbling. It's barely holding its own. Some of you may not realize that this is something that's still impacting you, because maybe you've done some work on this already, but there are some lingering bits that need to move on. It's almost like the shadow of a situation or remnants. So let's see what else we have going on here. Oop, I'm dropping things on the floor. We have the Ten of Swords. Yeah. Okay. This is absolutely a story of sadness. It's betrayal, even if it doesn't seem like it to other people. You know, sometimes there's those cases where you're maybe trying to open up to somebody and they can't understand your point of view. They don't know where you're coming from. You have a poet's heart and sensibility. So it doesn't matter if it seems like something small to other people. You're the one that's feeling it. You might be a starseed or an empath. You might identify with that. Very likely an empath. I think you feel very deeply, and it's possible you grew up someone who was a bit in their own world, which is why I'm getting that starseed. You may have been a little sheltered for some of you. For others, you just didn't have role models to explain to you how to communicate with others effectively, how to express wants or needs or desires in a relationship. They may have just decided, hey, I'm just going to let kids be kids and not provide guidance. So you may not have felt, or actually, you may not have felt safe with your parents as well. You know, if they were both present, or one or both of them may have been a bit absent for you. And so it just wasn't a safe time to talk to them about this. You wouldn't maybe even know to approach them about it. Or maybe you're a little neurodivergent, some of you. Or they were. It just feels like you're sort of very pure and innocent, and it's almost like you're thrown into the lion's den to figure out life on your own in one aspect or another. Obviously that won't resonate for every single person, but there's a lot there. Look at that. It's almost like the mountain range here in the background blends into the spider web here, that with the backgrounds. I don't know if you can see that pattern. So I feel like this relationship shaped a path for things to come. This heartbreak stuck around long enough in your energy field to attract other similar heartbreaks. It reinforces this idea of this relationship happening over and over again and again, waiting for a prince to come, hoping for a rescue, finding, just people. who are happy to take advantage of your innocence and your energy and your trusting nature, your beauty, your love, whatever it is. And I feel like that just happens and happened and happened because you were just so open. You may have been fearful of the past repeating itself so that you pushed others away, or perhaps, you clung on so hard that inevitably they would leave. Maybe you decided to pick people who you felt were safe after a certain point, so you became the heartbreaker yourself when you realized the relationship wasn't in balance. So, this here is the first step. Pulling that sword out right here. And then you pull out the next, and then you pull out the next. And for some of you, this may already be partially done. Maybe the outer parts of the swords are gone. Maybe some of them are still there. For others, I feel like all these sharp edges are left inside. And you healed over them. But every time you see someone who reminds you of that first love, or they trigger something in there, on some level, you fall and you fall hard. And it's beautiful, but all these little pieces still make it quite painful. And it still feels like you're choosing partners that are either like that first partner in some way who hurt you, or there's something just a bit off. They may already be taken, and again, you may not know this, or perhaps they're incredibly kind to you, but they're off the market for some reason, and maybe you even know it's not right on some level, but you can't help it. You can't help who you fall in love with. It could be poor choices. It could be being at different points in life, different, there might be age gaps, or just you have different cultures almost, like you might live in different parts of the country or the world. And there seems to be something always blocking the union, so that you inevitably wind up back in this stuck energy of the past. And it feels like you're trying to heal this past wound with other people, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're finding these people that are reminding you on some unconscious level of this person in the past. And you're trying to, fix this, help me fix this, without realizing it. And I think the universe and your guides want you to do this healing on your own. Let's see what our last tarot card is today. Yeah. The Lovers. Surprise. When you do this, when you heal, you're going to be able to come into union with a perfect match for you. Because this is about healing the self so that all parts are unified and accepted, if not entirely approved of by you. And this will help draw on a match who is a good one for you at this time. And I see this as a very good sign that you have good things coming, and it feels close for some of you. The way a spider's web is so small, it's something you could easily just take down with your hand, but it's also sticky, and it's also, isn't it one of the most powerful, animal created substances in nature? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but because of that stickiness, that tackiness, this is going to require probably a little extra work on your part. So even though you think you get all those little remnants off, there's still some phantom pieces that you feel, or it's like when you walk in the woods. If you're the person who's walking first, you inevitably are going down a trail and you wind up with spider webs in your hair or your face. I do have these extra cards that had popped out for you as just alternatives to see if there was specific advice for moving forward with healing this old wound. Now, obviously, we're not going to hit on everything as this is a general reading, but we're going to see what we can get. And we're using the Messages from Shadow deck by Keri, Nola, I believe. And what we have here is Light. Now, these cards can be photographed as the art is energetically encoded for healing shadow aspects. We also have the card of Prostitution. So you might want to take a screenshot of these so you can refer back to these energies later. Okay, let's talk about this. So what we have here is confirmation that this energy of being stuck within, relationships or whatever's going on with your heart space, this can be healed. By bringing aspects of this to light with your attention, you are allowing the healing to take place. Now, prostitution is a very energetically charged word, right? This doesn't have to imply strict sexual acts. Instead, it has to do with giving away parts of yourself for something or someone that does not resonate with you. This could involve the way that you show up, even at work, or in family relationships or within your friendships as well. And it could also imply part of your past romantic story that we've been talking about. Perhaps this is about choosing partners who can't show up for you in the way that you deserve. Perhaps you're wanting something or someone so much that you go to great lengths to receive, and you don't get a fair or equal exchange for what you're giving. And even if you aren't looking for that, your soul knows when things aren't in balance. You may not even realize you're doing that. Especially if you're a very giving person, which I suspect a lot of you are. Your heart knows it. Your heart recognizes it. Because that card's paired with the light, it's an acknowledgement that this energy is at play. And the first step to healing is to recognize the imbalance. And again, if you grab these in a screenshot, you can actually use them in the future. If you're clairsentient, you may actually already feel the healing that's coming from them. And if not, you still can use the imagery to heal by gazing at them from time to time, in addition to any other work that you may choose to do to help heal any old wounds or patterns that you have. This is part of the heart healing that's happening for you, group 2. Okay, we have a few more cards. Give us a little more information. Bear. And owl. Okay, scooch those up. Okay, so the bear to me indicates a movement towards this light. Even look, the bear's even looking in this direction. It's a period of awakening and renewal, and I'm getting a sense of this idea, mama bear, with this, which can be a little bit triggering for some people. I know we did mention a little bit about parenting and families earlier, so I get this idea that you may be going to a period of reparenting or reteaching yourself in all the ways that you were never quite supported in, which is something that we often have to do. I mean, kids don't come with instruction manuals, and even I like to feel that everybody's doing the best they can as parents. That's not always the case, but we often have to end up doing a little bit of the reparenting ourselves. So I feel like this is a new firm foundation with which you can stand on, lean back into, and feel safe and supported. This is a chance to learn about your wants and your needs and your energy maintenance. And if there is some kind of mother wound for you here, this may be an area to explore. Not all mothers need to be claimed either, biological or otherwise. We can find mothering in anyone we meet. So if there's someone or someones that you feel safe with, this may be an avenue to explore as you walk your road of healing. This does show movement toward the light, and so perhaps you can use some of this mother bear energy to protect yourself from stepping into relationships that don't fit the bill of being stable or safe or equal. You want to protect this divine coupling that's here on this Lover's card, right? If this is kind of what you're aiming for, is like equal partnership going forward. And again, it doesn't matter if it's romance or if it's friendships, family, that kind of thing. Just equal partnership at work. You want to protect this idea. Bear is telling you to be selective about your time and your energy and to pull some of it inward for yourself. And as you recognize, I think, patterns and habits that weren't in your highest good, and we talked about maybe being prone to fantasy for some of you, call a spade, call yourself out if you start to falter, or just when you're recognizing, I'm spending a chunk of my day daydreaming, or maybe this isn't the best choice. Maybe I shouldn't be talking to this person right now. Just take the necessary steps to remove yourself from that situation or that person. And if the Three of Swords situation we're speaking about from the past feels like there is still a lingering energy, you can ask yourself, what feels good? Is there old emotion that needs to be recognized and felt in order to be released? Sometimes it's just that. We need to feel it. Maybe it's stored in the body. Would you talk with maybe a therapist if that's possible for you? Chat with supportive friends or journal. Engage in cord cutting to release stagnant energy, to get rid of that. Get an aura cleansing session or body work. And body work is a beautiful way to release old stuck energy from our tissues, like a massage or something like that, if that is something you're comfortable with. But above all else, stay tuned into your core human or personality needs. So what do you need to feel good during the day? How can you fill up your own cup so that you don't have to lean into the energy of other people as much to provide that for you? And then you're not feeling let down or in that energy of imbalance as much. And with Owl, once you're more in tune with your current wants, needs, and energy, and you've leaned into Bear a bit, that's when it's a good time to start working on your intuition and developing it a little more. This is showing that you are an intuitive person. And I'm feeling like your intuitive abilities surrounding your own path here and love may have been a bit clouded due to the lingering effects of this old wound. So if you were like, I don't know, pulling tarot cards or trying to read into the situation, you may have not gotten clear and honest answers because your own energy might have been dominating the situation a little bit, kind of coloring it, tainting it. Owl sees very well in the dark, and this card is an indication that your intuitive abilities are getting upgraded and rebooted from your new perspective, and you're going to be much more clear about what is good for you and what is not. You will be able to see into the dark, and I get that there's a lot less paralysis and fear. You're going to have more wisdom to draw from, and you can firmly fix your eye on your desires while also keeping in mind what's healthy for you and what's healthy for your heart. Okay. Let's get some advice going forward. This is from the Illustrated Beastiary, and I want to thank my friend Steph and member of our Facebook group, The Leaf Heart Path, for this gorgeous deck. And we have here, Slide into Joy, River Otter. And notice here, that's interesting, it's a couple, it's a pair, it's a duo, just like our Lovers card. And Appreciate the Process, Cow and Bull. Okay, so just taking these kind of at face value. Beautiful energies here. One of enjoying the moment and enjoying where you are, being playful. Playfulness is such a vital and creative expression for the soul. By being present and in the moment, being playful, you will move more into alignment with yourself and with any beautiful relationships coming your way. They're going to be arriving much more quickly in this space. And the Appreciate the Process card sounds exactly like what it is, that healing is possible for you. Group 2 and Cow and Bull here, they can digest even the most indigestible and tenacious bits of fiber, through patience and through time and through like their own natural process. And the toughest problems become quite digestible, which brings forth new growth and fertility. So just knowing that you're building this structure, I'm noticing the pyramids and the pillars on either side, everything is that you're creating right now. Once you get in and clear this space out, bring some light to the situation, work a little bit with what you need to work into yourself, your boundaries, what you need. Lean into your intuition from there. Slide into joy. You can just kind of appreciate the view from where you are, and that's when this is going to be happening for you. Things will start to align a little bit more. So group 2, if it is a relationship that you're seeking, your guides want you to know there is a bit of healing work to do. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't be in a relationship, because some of you might be already, while you're healing. Just give yourself the time and the space to do the work. We don't need to be perfect creatures to be in a relationship. So much of life is growth, and you're going to make mistakes. And, just because a relationship ends also doesn't mean it was a failure. Our own healing and the changes that result from that healing can profoundly impact any relationships we are in already, as our wants and our needs, maybe even our communication changes from the work we've been doing. And it's time to do some release, and then you can move forward with your big open heart and with a new confidence that's buoyant and no longer tethered by anything from the past. No more sticky cobwebs here. So group 2, that's what's coming forward for you today. I appreciate you being here with me, and I'm sending you, as always, big love and gratitude. If you are claiming this message and willing to share, go ahead and give us a heart emoji to represent your depth of feeling, your tenacity, your loving kindness, your empathy, and to let fellow group 2 members know that you're part of the group 2 crew. And if you enjoyed this video or felt it was beneficial, please like and share with friends or family who may similarly enjoy it. This helps the channel out like you wouldn't believe, and it helps guide me towards creating more content that you enjoy. And if you're someone who stuck around at the end of the video, I appreciate that. Much love to you. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, my friends. Hello, group 3. If you picked this crystal quartz point, then welcome to your mystery message reading today. We are going to be working with the Ostara tarot, and we're going to hop right into your messages. Okay, so to start off, we have the 6 of Wands. I think I'm just going to start here with this one. This is always, to me, this particular card with this deck, this is an interesting take on the 6 of Wands, because there is such a dreamy quality to this card. It's not as fiery or as forthright as you might typically see in other decks. It's, again, we're under the water too, which is just a much more emotional kind of take. And so the whole feel of this, while it still has feelings of the ordinary message, it's just much more dreamy. Yeah. What this card typically stands for is success. That's the bottom line. But with the dreamy expression on the face of this person here, it makes me think of someone who is a bit dreamy. Maybe somebody who spends a lot of time daydreaming or thinking about their goals or plans. And to me, this indicates that this might be you. You may have some big goals or dreams for yourself, which you are working toward. And you may be someone who spends a little more time daydreaming or fantasizing, thinking about things as you're manifesting, planning next steps of your goals, and perhaps you're not somebody who takes quite as much action. And something to keep in mind, though, is that you clearly have done some of the work. It's not to imply that you're not that way at all, because the Six of Wands is somebody who has successfully navigated some trials and confusion. You've definitely picked some things up and have decided, this is what I'm going to work on, and this is what you've worked on. You've come out on the other side victorious. And now that you're here, you may be dabbling a bit in the law of attraction. Maybe you're discovering that the universe and people around you mirror what you're putting out into the world. I feel like this is almost you just now taking your first steps once you've kind of gotten over some big hurdles. You're on the cusp, I believe, of having some big dreams coming true here, Group 3. Very exciting. And there's a lot of potential that's coming through with this card. It's like very fiery. It's getting me kind of like heated up. And quite possibly this may have to do with something that is in the public eye, because this card does often have to do with recognition. And we can see all these little fishies around her here, checking her out. And there's some beams of light that are coming in as well, just to kind of highlight everything. So for some of you, this is about self-acceptance, which allows you to come forward and into yourself in a more powerful way. And that might have been some of the hurdles that you were getting over. I do feel with this card, there is an allowance here, a softening. There's something to do with walls coming down. It might just be the gaze that's kind of pulling me in there. Some of you may struggle with issues of self-esteem or self-worth, which makes it challenging to show up in the public eye. And maybe you have an occupation where you have to. Because this is, again, that public card. Again, you may spend more time daydreaming about acceptance or acclaim from others, but maybe you're just not taking those next steps to kind of move forward into it and really like stride into the spotlight in kind of like a big Leo kind of way, like the Sun card. I want to see what else we have here, if we can get any ideas about what this might be in regards to. So here, this is one of my favorite cards. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Look at the raccoon and the little raccoon babies. It's so cute. Yeah, we're always surrounded by others here. Fish, baby raccoons. So, yeah, there's definitely, this is about other people and you and the interaction. There's still some work to be done to get to this place that you're dreaming of. So you might be dreaming of a happy home or building your family or, a career, financial abundance or health. It's likely, or again, maybe creating your own group of people, like your own group of friends, building that out, or followers, something like that. This to me feels definitely more like it's something in the 3D. It's a little more tangible than, say, like coming up with your next big creative idea or some kind of spiritual goal. So, and also it's coming through, this may be a time, I feel like this is all over the place. I apologize for that, but I'm just going to go with what's popping out right now. You may want to hang on to your cash for a little bit right now to build up your nest egg. And that might be something that's actually a goal for you. If you've been spending more recently, this might be a nut to hold back a little bit more. Or maybe even write down financial goals for yourself and keep those nearby for any times that you may be tempted to spend. Sort of like, these are ours, we're going to hold on to them. And also, if you're someone who's a bit more dreamy and less connected to others at this moment, or maybe just in general in life, I feel like this is a call to branch out and connect more with other people. Like, you might be comfortable. You might be someone who's introverted, or you're like an INFP or something like that, or an INFJ. Like, you're just more in your own head. A lot of times, maybe it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, not in a way that's malicious or anything like that, but it's just, that's how you operate, and you probably have some friends that understand that and acknowledge that. But I'm seeing like this is an opportunity for you to also build stronger relationships with people, begin to challenge yourself, kind of step out of your comfort zone, just be a bit more visible with others. And I do feel like, again, this is an investment with family or friends, maybe followers. There's going to be a lot of appreciation from this. And I don't think group 3, if you're hard on yourself, that you need to be as hard as you are. You're much more loved. You're beautiful. Your spirit is beautiful. More than you realize. People dig you. They want to see more of you. They want to spend time with you. And it's more than you think. And this is just, I think, a nod from your spirit team here. It's time to invest in something other than, daydreams for all my fantasy friends who are out there watching this, because there is just so much more potential for you out here. It's time to swim out. Yeah. So whatever your goals are, there's just a little more work to do. That's usually what this card is kind of about. And you will get to that place of alignment that you're seeking. Just as important, though, is that shift into, I think, revering yourself a little bit more. Seeing yourself with the same eyes of love from which, other people see you. All these little fish, all these little raccoons, they love you. Yeah. Okay. And we have the 8 of Cups here as well. So 8 might be... And what do we have? We have 6, we have 7, we have 8. That's interesting. So we're seeing some growth here. 6, 7, 8. So again, this is a progression. Things you're working on, things you're working toward, you're making strides, moving forward. The first group also had the 8 of Cups. So if you did feel pulled toward that group, you might want to go back to check that reading out. The 8 of Cups is making the conscious choice to leave things behind that no longer serve you. It's about being in control of that decision and moving forward under your own power. This could be about leaving behind attitudes that aren't conductive to self-love or forward growth. And it does feel like you're letting go of self-limiting beliefs here. I'm also suddenly paying attention to the direction here that these cards are facing. We're dreaming here and looking in this direction, almost to the past. Or it's just like off in another direction, but here we're facing to the future. Yeah, so going back to the self-limiting beliefs, it's, whatever those are, that's going to be different for whoever you are watching this. You'll want to take a bigger picture view. You want to take the eagle's eye view of your situation. By distancing yourself a little bit from some troubles that you may have, you can begin to see yourself and your purpose and your goals in a whole new light. And remember, too, that not everything is a positive solution just because something's shiny and glowy. Keep your wits about you. Don't jump into every new fad or quick solution, because this does feel a bit like long-term work. We are, again, slowly ascending the staircase, 6, 7, 8. But you are this long-term investment, and you deserve this happiness and whatever this is, whatever your dream is. It's well within reach. This is something you can create. So invest in yourself. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. No, wait. I do feel a connection also to spirit guides. This is coming through here. And deceased loved ones who are offering their love and support from beyond. If you could feel about yourself the way that they do, group 3, you would feel incredible. And also, you may find strength from Archangel Jophiel as a joy guide and Archangel Raphael for healing. And I'm getting like a little smile from them. Lean into those relationships to bolster confidence a little bit and to help with healing as you're, moving forward with more practical steps as well. Okay, now we are going to move on. Had to get that in. Okay. We have got Dragonfly. And we've got Butterfly. Huh. So the Dragonfly here, actually these are both giving me Major Arcana vibes. Maybe I'm thinking of the Rust Belt Arcana. I think they have a Damselfly or a Dragonfly as the Chariot. So this is reminding me of the Chariot. And the Butterfly from that deck is reminding me of the Monarch Butterflies on the Strength card. And you don't have any Major Arcanas here, so it's almost like this is a way of like working that in. So Dragonfly as the Chariot is kind of illustrating to me that with some tweaks on your part, your goals are well within reach and they're much closer than you think they are. You can achieve the mastery you're looking for and get to where you want to go. You can get to a point with, you know, that little bit of work where you're ticking boxes off and just, you know, abundance is flying in towards you a little bit at a time. Just blessings is what I'm getting. Blessings and blessings and blessings. With this butterfly signaling strength, there's also that transformative quality as well. And going back to this idea of like the strength card, and I'm thinking again of that other deck, they show monarch butterflies. This isn't a monarch, but I'm thinking of how those monarch butterflies migrate across these treacherous stretches of land and water to reach their destination. In some cases, that's 3,000 miles away. And obviously, it's not the same butterflies as they're going, because I think they only live like 2 to 6 weeks or something. But the journey's incredible. And I see strength in you, Group 3. I see that same strength. There's beauty in what you're doing and in you. And while some of your dreams and goals may feel like they're that long distance, going back to this, they are in fact very achievable and they're not out of reach for you. And for some of you, again, it's just a matter of shifting your perspective just a hair, just a little tiny distance, like the width of a butterfly's wing. It's just like it's like right on the other side for you. Okay. So advice going forward to you, and I feel like this group, you're just going fast, fast, fast with the information that's coming through. It's just very kind of to the point. These cards are from the Illustrated Beastiary, so I want to thank my friend Steph, and she's also a member of our Facebook group, The Leaf Heart Path, for this gorgeous deck here. And so we have Nurture Connections. Oh my gosh, that's like what we were talking about here. Gray Wolf. You guys got an extra card here. Discover the Pattern, Broad-Winged Katydid. And I love this card. Stand Up for Yourself, Spotted Skunk. How cute is this? They're doing their little handstand. Okay. So Nurture Connections, I think, just does build on that Seven of Pentacles. And we talked about investing in community and the relationships you want to build, likely starting with yourself. You may need to extend an olive branch to yourself or feel your feelings if there's been, you know, a rift or a disconnect of some kind between, you know, kind of fantasy and reality, feelings and reality, what's actually going on and what you want to be going on in your heart, and kind of stitch those things together, make those things become that final product. Yeah. And Discover the Pattern card hints at just taking some time to look into your own patterns and behavior. You know, what's working for you right now, what isn't working, what kind of patterns or habits have you been acting out, and how have they helped you, how have they hindered your progress toward your goals. This indicates a time to slow down and see what's truly going on around you without any filters or without any distractions. And then finally, stand up for yourself. Maybe in relation to others, but I almost see it like you are breaking down barriers between your ego and your own truth. So what can you disassemble to get to the heart of what matters to you? Possibly by diving into shadow work or working with a therapist, you can begin a period of building yourself up instead of allowing the ego to take over and hold you back from what you're moving toward in life, because the ego keeps us in unconsciousness. And you want this clarity, the clarity of that crystal going forward, because that's going to get you exactly where you want to go. Group 3, you guys were a little more short and to the point here with your messages, but maybe that's how you operate a little bit, and I would be curious to hear what's going on with you. So this is what was coming forward for you today. I appreciate you being here with me as always, and I am sending you big love and gratitude. If you're claiming this message and you're willing to share, please go ahead and give us, why don't you give us a little skunk emoji to represent your big dreams, your transformation, your power, and to let fellow Group 3 members that you're part of the Group 3 crew. And if you enjoyed this video or felt it was beneficial, please like and share with friends or family who may similarly enjoy it. And this helps the channel out like you wouldn't believe, and it helps guide me toward creating more content that you enjoy. And if you're someone who stuck around to the end of this video, thank you. I love you. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, my friends.